Okay, all right. Today we'll be talking about Japa. What is Japa? We're talking about people that want to travel out of the country, specifically Nigerians hoping to travel out of the country. Now, in traveling out of the country, why do we Nigerians keep it as a top secret amongst ourselves? Is there an underlying factor? Is there a reason why we feel we shouldn't tell the next person when we are traveling out? Is there a spiritual undertone? These are some of the things we'll be talking about today. And also not forgetting, why must we Japa? We want to know. Why can't we remain in our country? So today we'll be touching on this topic. And to join my usual suspect is I'll call her Margaret Thatcher. That's what I call her most times. So kindly introduce yourself.
I'm Sarah.
Sarah what?
Sarah Essien.
Okay. You don't want to add the word Margaret Thatcher?
No, that's not my vet name.
All right. So let's start with Japa. Why do you think most Nigerians now, they want to leave the country? You might say, okay, the reason is out there, but I want to hear it from you.
Well, people leave the country for different reasons, different reasons that appeals to them, right? But of course, the general reason that we know right now that is also glaring on our faces is the economic indices of our country, saying that employment or unemployment rate is climbing over the roof. High 2 digits in unemployment rate, inflation rate, the interest rate, even the atmosphere of business environment is also not smiling. I think that the economic indices are not so positive right now. And then people are just going for greener pastures, seeking for new opportunities, and especially the young ones. The older ones are looking for better growing environments for their kids, for their family, better opportunity for the much younger ones.
So let me get something right. Now, you've made 2 statements. I'm going to take you on that. Now, you said people are traveling out for better opportunities. People are traveling out because of the economic situation in the country. Now, these are 2 different things. The economy can be good and I still want to travel out for better opportunities. Then I may be traveling out as a result of the economic realities I am faced with in this country. So
that was why I said people travel out for different reasons. So whichever one is suitable to you or suitable for you. People travel out for...
But they are the same thing, really. Whether you say better opportunities or the economic situation, they may not be exactly alike, but they are similar. And I'll say that look at indices. Just look at indices. Check it, and you see that countries where migration is less are countries that are stable. In terms, you don't see US citizens don't leave their country as much. That's why they are seen as in terms of they don't know everything for them is within. The British, even down to football, right? When we're talking of Brexit, you see that they keep local talent because once your economy is thriving, you see better opportunities within the confines of your own locality. You're not going to really be thinking that you're going to get it elsewhere. So for me, it's not so different. Whether you say economy or better opportunities.
Let's look at it this way. You are working in a company that you are well paid. Everything is at your beck and call. Now you hear that there's another company that you can make times 2 of what you are earning. So you're leaving that company to the company where you get the times 2 of what you were earning. Does not mean that the current company you're working with is bad, but because you want better opportunities. So it is in that context that I'm saying that.
So let me. Now you are looking at it when we talk of economy, right? The economy is not only in Naira and Kobo. It trickles down to other things, right? Mm-hmm. Standard of living. Okay, now some people are earning what 5 years ago it was a dream. And yet it's not like it's because of the inflation in the country, but it's not able to give them what they were even affording back in the day. So that's why I say you are only looking at it in terms of Naira and Kobo. But it trickles down to a lot of things when we say better opportunities. So if you using the analogy you're using, if somebody gets an equally high paying job, maybe better than his, sometimes he could also turn it down.
Yeah.
Sometimes he could turn it
Yes.
down. And what are those other things? So in that time, he's not also thinking in Naira and Kobo. And that's what happens when people also Japa. Some people have, let me give you an instance. I'm also not so big on I must, you get, leave the country. But things happen sometimes. And it can just maybe be around frustration about accessing some things that I feel are basic.
Or maybe
right?
and
I'll start thinking, and I'll give you an example. Recently, in Lagos, they are phasing out old meters.
Yes.
And then they just did very hurriedly put together a memo, and people started panicking. And I happen to be one of those people whom, where I stay, that is what I came to meet. And I've been using it without complaints, where you use the card and all of that. And then you were just told to just go and get the new meters by XYZ dates.
I think the notice was short.
It was so short,
Ahead.
first of all. Now I started thinking the difficulty in accessing the new meters. And trust me, that period, I was telling my friends and my neighbor, I said, look, if you are living in better climes, what will happen? The government will come and install this thing and just take the body. And I'm telling you, these are the things, some people, that there's a level you've gotten, you've attained some things, you've enjoyed something, and you start looking at those small things that they really matter. And that is where you are talking of proper living condition. It is not only in Naira and Kobo. It is there. Nigerians have always been known to survive. Whether inflation, are we not buying fuel? Are we not buying fuel? But over time, the stress level increases. And if you can now afford it, or if you can stress to get, in fact, Nigerians are not even jackpotting because they can afford it. Some people are ready to do anything. They just want to escape. So it's an escape right now. We are not
if it is truly an escape, why is it that some people will live here? Now, they sell most of the things they have here to travel out. You get there, you work, to still come back into the country, if truly you are escaping because of all these things that you have itemized. Now, it might shock you to know that, okay, I'm selling my house to travel out. I get there, I work, to come back to build the same house again. How do you see that? So if you tell me that you are escaping because, okay, the system is not working, okay, I agree with you. But the system that you claim that it's not working, you are still coming back to it again. Maybe you will now feel that you had better opportunities now. You can do things the way you want. So there must be something in it aside the economic issues.
So now, looking at how attractive is Nigeria and how attractive is also where they are going to. Now, you've talked about coming down to build house. Remember, it is what you don't have that is more attractive to you most times.
Yes.
Right? Now, house is a necessity. I'll give you an example. How many times are you confident enough to travel by road in this country? So you are even going to come down to tell me insecurity is everywhere. It is everywhere, but it is not as bad as it is. And I'm saying it for free because if we're talking about this insecurity issue, I can speak authoritatively because I know I've been at the receiving end, right? So I know. Now, these are some of the other things we should also look at as the underlying factor. And people are not or when you go down to healthcare, do you know how many companies, pharmaceuticals that left the country just from last year? That left the country, and then what is the cost of buying those drugs now to treat ordinary, what we call ordinary malaria and typhoid? You know what it means for us. We see it like it's now very expensive compared to before. People can just walk into a store and just buy it and all of those. So these are we're looking at it as small. That's why I say we shouldn't just look at it in terms of Naira and Kobo. And then you have a friend or a family member who has traveled, and you know how their life was here. And some of them know that truly in one year, 1.5 years, they are going to stress. But once they settle, and you are seeing it, and this person has, maybe you have someone so nice, they have sent you some dollars and all of that. What comes to your mind next?
But let me tell you one thing. You might think that their stories out there is everything is smooth. No. Sometimes for a man who has maybe, for example, now you are in UK, you're coming home. Before you leave that land, you already know how much you're going to spend here. You've already mapped out your strategies. This is how much I'm going to spend there. This is where I'm going to, this is what I'm giving to this, an XYZ person. You already have everything mapped out. You are getting here. You are making an impression on people. They don't really know what is going on over there. Because we've seen cases where people create an illusion that, okay, things are very rosy there. Meanwhile, the reverse is the case. It's not all stories that are palatable or well-to-do.
But I can say for real that you are going to have exceptions because that's life for you. Not everybody is going to grow on the same pedestal.
Sure.
But are you trying to tell me? I can also tell you that a lot more people are leaving this country because of the Nigerian spirit, and they are making it out of this country. Those that have gone to better climes. Do you want to dispute that?
Well, like we said, not everyone. There will always be an exception.
Do you want to?
So as much as you have people that have succeeded, you also have people that have not succeeded.
But
I know focus will now be on people that have succeeded.
Basics. The thing, what kills every man is basics. Can I afford the basic? Because that's where the issue comes. Can you afford the basic? Are you going to break a sweat? You come to your house, you can't get electricity with your money. With your money, and you know what I mean. Even with the money, people are ready to buy PMS at the price the government have quoted. You still see queues. In fact, we can all this thing we are talking now like joke. We can just drive out of this place now, and you see that the queue are started gathering, and you don't know what is happening. So these are the things. These are the things that make people get so frustrated that it is no longer a case of Americans leave their country too now, small numbers, but they are looking, oh, there is this opportunity in Africa. I want to go. We are not doing that. We are not migrating for it. We are escaping.
So should everything be blamed on the government?
Of course.
What about individual things we do individually?
Who came to say he wants to rule the country, or who are those people that put their hands up and say, I want to lead?
I agree with you. But what about the things we do as individuals?
The government has so many powers, and I will tell you, what's this famous American president?
Okay, I will cite an example now. Government newly builds a bridge. They fix what's it called now? All these lights. What are they called now? Street lights. Now you as an individual, you go to that same place and you start cutting out the aluminium. You remove all the bulbs. And you come back to blame the government. Government has decided that, okay, we are building this bridge to make life easy for you guys, to be able to transmit from one place to another. Now, there are some persons that are going there to remove all of these things. There was a time I heard that some of these guys selling on the road, they pour chemicals on the road just to create potholes.
Let me tell.
I think if the economic indices, like we said, the living conditions, the cost of living, and everything is all going rosy. I mean, I'm not talking about everything should, of course, each country have their own hiccups, right? But then if we had all those things laid down, everybody had what they are doing, the level of employment is not as high as, what it is right now. I don't think somebody would literally want to go and destroy. I'm not trying to excuse those that do it. There's no form of excuse, or there's no form of what's it called? You can't excuse anyone that does something negative, like that goes to destroy government properties. Whether you are idle, whether the government does not provide anything, like you said, government should, be held responsible. Whether the government is not responsible or not, it still boils down to your personality as a human being. You can't just, be destructive. But then, if government does their own part, right? Everybody has a part to play. I have a part to play as a human being. The government have their part to play. And I'm not putting my part on the government to play it for me. If government plays their part, I also will play. The government should be seen as an enabler, right? That helps me play my role better.
So that means you are not taking the same stand with him.
I'm going to take my stand and stand on my stand. And let me blame the government, and let me blame the government with my points. And I'll say it. At least I have knowledge of government, right? Government as a cause. And it says Thomas Hobbes, how the government come into play. It says before government, life was brutal, was short, right? And I think there's this description, maybe barbaric, like people came and said, okay, governments should be a mechanism through which the will of the state is expressed. Or sorry, a mechanism of the state through which the will of the people is what expressed. And then government came into place. Now, over time, you find out that whether autocratic governments, those ones that are legally constituted or illegally constituted, one thing they have in common is you have power and authority. To whatever degree, it depends on the system of government. What should government do? Government are enforcers.
Yes.
Government are what? Enforcers. I want to repeat it again for the third time. Government are what? Enforcers. Now, I'll tell you what happens in this country. And I can be quoted anywhere. Government know what they are to do. Now, all of these things you call crimes, go to the highbrow areas. They don't happen there. I will go to Abuja, in Asokoro, where the real men stays, in Maitama, come down to Lagos, Banana Island, right? You will see that there is more like a presence of government. These people are well secured. So why will government install street lights and don't create a system to protect those things? Why? Because the more those street lights are destroyed, the more they are going to protect for it. And we sit down here to say the government are not to blame. Yes, the government, we want to say, the truth is, one thing I've observed, and somebody once said it is, foreign crimes are not better than us as a human being. The average white man has the tendency to commit as much crime as me, as a black man. What is the difference? They have an effective government. And what does this government do? They enforce. Have you seen how much they frown at what is it called? Traffic offenses. Do you understand what I'm saying? And there are mechanisms in place, and we are not talking of putting people on the streets, just keeping one man to say hand over ticket. That's not only, they have down to the technological aspect of it. These things are going to help people enforce these things. So that is why I still say government is to blame. You cannot come to a house and say,
see, the thing is this, there's a difference. We are a developing country. Fine, that's not to excuse us.
Who told us that we're a developing country?
Whether we like it or
IMF.
not,
IMF told us.
I'm not talking about. That's a discussion for another day.
Before we came down to the point that we say these are developed, less developed. They are the ones that did this categorization. But
in terms of technological development, okay, there's a difference between the Western world and Nigeria. Whether you like it or not.
So when we call of nomenclatures, right? You are naming this or you're naming that one. These are things. So if we want to say, we want to base on that we are a developing country, so we should do this. We can do the right things. We are not, the government is not ready. And you cannot, what you are seeing that is happening is just people must find their way. When you have a reckless government, irresponsible, people will find their way, and that's part of the escape.
So that's what I'm now saying, that it's a two-way thing. It's not just the government.
It's a one-way thing.
We have a responsibility.
It's a one-way thing. It's a one-way thing.
And it's
the government
impacting,
should make me responsible. That is what I'm saying. It's a one-way thing.
No.
The government, I don't believe in Buhari's mantra that came, what was that thing they were lying to us? It starts with me. When you wanted to be president, it was you. You will liberate the country. When
I have always had this opinion that for you to change this country, change every family unit. It starts with every family unit. And I once had it. There was a time. I think I've mentioned it in not on set, where someone approached me that, okay, please, can you teach my son this, what we call a local balance, yahoo. I had to now look at myself. That do I look like one?
Do you?
That do I look like one? What's giving this impression to this woman? Okay, I can do this. But the thing is this: imagine such coming from a mother. Now, if that person, what product do you expect from such family? If it happens in another family again, what product do you expect from such family? But if there's a family that, okay, discipline is at least there's 100% discipline in that family. Same thing with another family. Imagine what will happen when we now talk about the society at large. But when we don't have such discipline in individual families, it will now transmute to what we have in government. The people you have today are still the same people that will go into the government. In the past, we've had people that are activists. They will tell you everything that is wrong about the government. But once they get into that government, take another stand. Another thing happens.
So it's
like a circle. And if it is not tackled from the roots, it will keep appearing. When we say government, who are those involved? Who are those in the government? Are you talking about the president alone? No. Even people look at the police officers. You look at the what's it called? The custom service, the immigration service. These are people, and you said okay, they are government agencies being manned by individuals, people in the society. Now, whatever they do, it is seen as government is doing it. What happens when a police officer is demanding for a bribe, and they will tell you the government has put it there, it is free. And meanwhile, the individuals that is manning that same station is still demanding money from you.
Agencies of government are also government.
That's what I agree with you.
So-
but I'm telling you about the individuals. If you as a person today, you are asked, okay, maybe you are given employment in government, the first thing that comes to your mind, normal orientation is, it is time for me to make money. So the system might be bad, truly, and which is contributing to people traveling out of the country. But I still have the belief that if we take it as a mantra, as individuals, that yes, I must play my own part. You play your own part. You play your own part. The country will become a better ground. Even to not make it difficult for those in government to now say this is what we want to do. The people that are there now, during election, every cycle for 4 years, we get bribed. There was a time we had a NSAS. Shortly after NSAS, there was an election in Lagos State to elect. That's one of I can't remember the senatorial district. Now the senatorial, I was expecting that okay, this is a time for the youth to take over or to say okay, to make a statement, but nothing happened. So we are looking at what is happening within the country to now say that is enough reason for people to now Japa. Now, still talking about Japa, Sarah, why do you think people hide the information from each other? Because I've been trying to process that thing. Why would I want to travel out and I'll hide information from the next person to me?
Am I in the best position to answer that question? Because I don't think I will hide information if actually I want to Japa. But then, why do we think people hide information? I think it's an African thing where you are afraid of so many things. You're afraid of village people. Yes. I mean, in Nigeria or in Africa, so to say, we hide a lot of things. It's very good to be conservative. I'm trained to be very conservative. It's very good. I mean, if you know how to run, right, walk. If you can run, walk. If you can walk, crawl. If you can crawl,
if you can walk, crawl.
Yes. Just in the spirit of being conservative.
Is it
that
to
people
disguise?
don't
Is it
need
to
to-
disguise for your enemies? Is that
So
what
if you are rich, don't show yourself to be rich.
Not that you don't show it. You can't hide affluence, actually. Not that you won't show yourself to be rich, but then in areas where you can actually conserve yourself, if you can, go ahead and do that. But I mean, it's in African climes that I know we hide a lot of things. We hide pregnancy. We hide what else do we hide?
The Gen
We
Zs are
hide-
changing it now.
Yes, but is it not the Gen Zs that are living without telling their friends? It's still the Gen Zs that live without telling their close friends. They call guy, they call babe, they call.
No, but it
this.
has always been in existence for long. In fact, they will tell you don't tell anybody before your plane will just
Will
be
crash.
grounded.
But we didn't even, maybe because we didn't have a lot of people going
I
there.
think it's more pronounced in the olden days than now.
Then it's.
I feel
we
people are
don't-
even less scared now.
Yes.
Than compared. That was my
Exactly,
thinking.
but it's now becoming more glaring now that people. How many of us will know that?
Maybe what I agree where you say glaring is back in the days. I feel people will still no verse so say I no tell you, but now people are making it open that
Then
I
the
know
idea
who you-
is,
Really don't
once I get there, that's when I will now call you.
Once I get there after 6 months for some people.
But don't you think
That's when
there
they
could be
will
some
call.
other underlying reasons to that? Maybe not necessarily a spiritual undertone. Now, maybe people are afraid
I'm
of
not
the
even
unknown.
giving spiritual undertone as a reason. That's just a perception that I don't want my village people to maybe hijack the plane.
they say if something is good or if something gives you,
You don't-
you don't overexpose it. Maybe that's what.
So,
Or
or
if
do we say
something-
it's
or
a
another
case of
reason-
testing the waters?
Another reason could be that maybe the plans are still in the cooler, right? They don't want to expose the plan until I'm there.
You don't know.
And then-
Sometimes you might just be telling some persons that not that they are necessarily going to do anything bad for you, but they are waiting for you to fail so that they will laugh at you and be like, this.
That's another reason.
So if it fails, then nothing happens.
So you just lock up and all of those
And
things.
that's why I said it's a
But
case
the
of
truth
the
is for
unknown.
Nigerians, let's just be truthful. It's spiritual. Let's tell ourselves the truth. That's what a lot of people say.
Mama Japlin Ebo.
Because we have different people that tells us
really,
different
but
things.
really, if you cannot tell your close friend, I mean, you have a close friend that both of you have known each other for years. You've been, you've stayed with each other. You've communicated a
What
lot
if
of
your
things.
close friend is a
And
chatterbox that talks too much?
And then your close friend, then that means the person has never been your friend.
No.
No, there are
two
some
different
friends.
things. So
Wait, let me tell you something.
two
Let me
different
tell you
things,
something. I have a friend that have confessed my sin and his sin together to his mother. I'm just saying, but I still consider him a friend. How did I know? Is the mother has been asking me, and me have been lying to her, not knowing that he has told them everything. So the day I was not asking, who told you to confess what me and you? Why didn't you? Do you understand?
Confess your own.
And that's how he is. Do you understand? So for that kind of person, it's not because he's going to be your friend. I see like there is enough reason to just keep some information from that person till it matures. Because he might go and say it where you don't want it to go to.
We understand. I mean, there are processes to jackpine, right? You may not necessarily come to tell that person or that friend immediately you start the plan. There are different plans. It could be at a particular point, maybe when everything is said and done. Oh, you already have your visas, you already have your approved your documents and all of that. And then you've even booked your flight. But the fact that you don't even, maybe it's a night to when you are going, that's where you now tell, you can as well hold your information.
Night is okay now. What if the person is on the plane?
It just means that.
Ode, look at the case of.
So are you going to take offense?
It just means that it's not about.
Look at the case of Bobrisky.
For me, I would want to reevaluate that relationship. I would want to ask myself, what were we really doing?
Okay, so let me ask a question. Let me just ask in this form. If you really know your friend, maybe they've had disappointments in the past around this thing, right? This same jackpot thing. You don't know who they are consulting. Maybe the person has said, don't imagine the draw of anybody, and the person explains to you, and the person leaves, and it's when the person is there, and the person calls you, and the person is apologizing to you that, see, I know you'll be angry, but this is what I was told. But
why would somebody tell you don't tell anybody? What would be the reason behind that? Don't tell.
It may not be about that person.
It may not be about
that person.
But the person has just now. I'm feeling like.
See, I'm not against. I'm not against people going without informing who they don't want to inform or their friends or whatever. I'm just very passionate about relationships, right? If I have a relationship with you, of course, you are my friend, you are my this, I call you my friend. I mean, somebody tweeted in 2022 that, I mean, is this jackpot season, you will really know the definition of friendship and all of that. If there are some secrets that I can't even share with the closest one, they can't share with themselves, the closest of friends, right? There are some secrets you want to take to your grave and all of that. But it's not a secret of relocation. Relocation is something that, if it's something that makes you happy, if it's something you want, we should all rejoice with you, be happy with you. We hold your hands together.
Honestly, I don't see a problem with it, because we were with a friend of ours, right? He invited us for an event. I'm not going to call the brand's name. I'm not going to give them publicity. We went for that event. I think we were 6 in number or something. We went for that event. Obviously, that was like, because he's into events and all of that. He left the country. We were still chatting. Funny thing is, when I started seeing, of course, you see the environment and it's different. And I asked, I said, you go holiday, you know, that kind of thing. And he said, I don't go. Till today, we see the talk, and I still see him as a friend, because honestly, I feel like you don't know everybody's particular story. You don't know. Some people go through things that they will never tell you, and you don't know if they've faced one kind of backstabbing before. I still feel they still consider you a friend, but you don't know where that information. They are also just being careful, because for all we care, you've still seen friends who.
So, if in the spirit of being careful, very good, preserve your information. I mean, in the Bible, if what's his name, Joseph had preserved his information, But even at that, his on not preserving the information still led to him being in leadership and preserving his generations to come. But then, in the spirit of conserving what you have, you should still be able to, you should still identify who are your, it means you don't even, I don't even know how to put it. It means you don't even care about those your carcass close to you. If you have an inner carcass, you have your friends who you could do that to, who you could just call it bluff and then leave without any form of information, any, telling them anything. It means you really don't care about them and they were really not
I don't
your
want to
friends.
agree with you. The thing is this: traveling is a thing of joy to some people, and let me say most people, it's a thing of joy. Now, if I feel it's a thing that I should be proud of, now if I feel that I shouldn't share that information with you, there's a reason. Now, for example, let's say you and Ode are very close, and I have an information to share with you, which I feel comfortable sharing with you, but I don't want Ode to hear about it. The best bet is for me not to share it with you. It's not about you, it's about Ode. But because I don't want him to hear about the information, I'd rather not share it with you. But now you will now be thinking that, oh, why is this guy not sharing this information with me? That means we've not been cool all this while. That I've been living in an illusion that, okay, we are cool. So to you, you may not know at that point. So there could be so many reasons attached to this. If it's for spiritual reason, well, I can't blame anyone for that as well. It's a function of your belief. Your belief system might be different from mine.
The spiritual controls the physical.
So you wouldn't want to be caught in that quagmire. So it's an individual thing.
Yeah, it's an individual thing. Of course,
but I sense that for you, you're not going to take it like.
No, of course, it has happened to me. It has happened to people close to me.
So the person it happened to you with how is your relationship?
She's still my friend. Nothing soiled the relationship. But I had to reevaluate the. Of course, it's not the way.
This is the same thing I told one of my friends.
The relationship will not be the way it used to be.
I think I once told my friend. I said, if you travel the way me and you did like this now, they talk. You call travel, tell me say I go can't really reason.
There is no how. You have been with somebody for donkey years, maybe your childhood friend. You guys grew up together. You guys still kept the relationship. I'm not saying this happened to me.
The truth is, people protect what is very valuable to them. We've seen cases of some couples. You will not see them, or what they'll snap picture and hide is their husband, especially women. But when you start digging deep to some of their stories, maybe their friend don't snatch. So this time they just want to be careful. Those kind of things.
Nigerians or Africans, we're always careful of everything, which is very good.
I had a friend while I was one of the previous companies that I've worked with, and I was always fascinated when I see her save people's names with different, not saving their names directly, but different things. And she had to tell me that back then when she was in school, you have friends who will go to your phones, steal someone's number from it, call the person from behind. And that was where she learned how to save people's names with some funny names or characters. So it's a function of, okay, I don't want this information stolen from me. You don't know what people will do with such information. So sometimes, like I said, it could be a function of who the other party is talking to. And if I don't feel comfortable with who you are talking to, it doesn't necessarily mean that your friends are my friends. So if I'm not comfortable with them, I would rather not share the information with you.
Then we are not friends. So there are some information that are grave secrets, right? You don't want to share with anybody. You just know within yourself that this one is for me, my head, and me alone, and I'm not sharing it to anybody. But there are some things that are not grave secrets. Moving out of a country, relocation secrets are not grave secrets. Yes, they are not grave. They are not
something that has to do with somebody's future.
They are not grave secrets. They are not grave secrets. They are
they are information.
They are not grave secrets. They are information you can share.
But it can lead you to the grave.
Because those information can actually, it's something that it's never been a smooth sail for most people. And this set of people we are talking about, it's never been a smooth sail. You may just you don't know if that your friend actually has somebody that can even make it seamless, much more seamless for you.
The same way, person if he ask you now, say, okay, babe, how you take do your own now? Show me way. and in the process of you showing me the way, and I complicate matters for you, what happens to that?
Or the person go show you. You know, some people they do that kind of thing. Some people
The guy
instead of
even
show you,
confuse you.
look say, I never go. Now you won't go.
Nobody can show you way if you already know the way you're going.
You don't know way now. That's why you ask
You
for
don't
way
know
now.
way. You're not keeping secrets. So you don't know way. You are keeping secrets.
You can know the way and still keep it secret and it works for you. You know the way, you are not keeping it secret, and somebody can come in and just confuse you. That's what we are saying.
No,
At least you want to, even if you are going to reveal it, do it to a certain level that you know that okay,
exactly.
yes,
No, I'm not
there's a
saying
closure
I'm
to
not
it.
saying review just when you start or when you're just writing the very first, when you are in the first.
And part of it is to ensure that okay, your plane takes off. Have you not been so?
Grandmaster, which
Okay.
which part are you on? Are you on don't reveal at all or review to a certain? Me, I'm on. I mean, before at least once your documents are signed off, your visas are approved, you can tell your
Me, I'm on the
My
part
own
of
is I look
do
at
what works for
individuals.
you.
I look
That's-
at individuals.
and-
individuals that you are not just saying tell every individual on your client, tell everybody in the whole world on your contact, explain, put it on your status. Oh, I'm traveling tomorrow. That's not what we are saying. The individuals I'm talking about are those that within a day there's
some
no
people
how
say
to
will not
talk
tell
to them.
You can be
their
my
family
inner circle and
member.
I don't
Do
regard
you know some people will not tell their
I'm
family member?
I'm not in your inner circle.
It's like that.
That is where the definition of friendship comes.
Do you know some people travel and they don't tell their parents? Not
Yes.
let me tell you why they don't tell their parents. Because they don't want to. Where have you reached? This. They will just go to where they are going.
No,
Jeje.
may even be
So
saying
there are
that-
different
Wait,
reasons.
no,
Will
no,
my father
no,
now say I'm
wait.
not his son again because
no, wait.
I did not tell him.
No. So the fact that some people don't tell them when they are leaving is when they've gotten there. It's not as if you don't know that they are
So
leaving.
if you are the parent, we
Wait,
now ask
no,
why didn't you
It's
tell me
not
before
that,
you leave?
It's not that you don't know they are leaving. Oh, I'm leaving. Oh, I'm leaving maybe next month. That's enough information. Rather than keeping quiet, we don't know. We thought, okay, so I heard of a story. This one, they were practically neighbors. They do everything together. Most times the children even go to a house to sleep. They were not just neighbors. They were close friends, more like sisters. They attend the same family functions and all of that. And this lady left for the US. In fact, this other one was even still making jest of where she heard it from. That where did she get the money from? Is it not Mama Ada, the two of us, and all of that? And they are telling her that she has gone to the US. She and her family.
Did you hear something
And
you
all
just
of
said?
that.
She was making jests.
No.
You might think is so that's why I say the description you might be giving might be to the extent you know their relationship. People you might think people are very close, but you know the tendency is that the person you are closest to might be the person to hurt you the most.
Yes.
And
Yes.
sometimes you may have tried letting them know that. And you know, if you use play cover and say, my friend, you ain't no get money. I'm just using that. I'm just saying, I don't know. And then the woman just, okay, you get. So what I'm saying in essence is, I think I respect the fact that you say you don't consider that person as a friend, if they can do that, right? But for me, I think I would tilt towards more, I'll look inwards and be like, what could I have been doing that if this person, you know where it gets bad, I understand, is where, imagine you believe, I believe I'm so close to you, right? And then you told like some other person, and then me,
That also happened.
That would be
Yes,
for me.
if you did not tell anybody at all.
if all the people I know that know you did not know,
That's
no
different.
problem. I'll be like, I'm okay.
I
But
think
this one, you're not hearing it from those that
That
you don't
means
even have
I
any
have issue.
relationship with.
that person needs to check herself first.
You
No,
get.
there is like what am I checking?
You check
The
first.
fact that you left the country doesn't mean you are better than me.
No, it's
No,
not
what
about
I'm
better.
saying
So
is,
what am I
why did
checking?
the person
No, the other
keep-
person
why did the
should
person
check
keep the
himself.
information
No,
from you?
so you also should check yourself.
No, you should check
Start with
yourself
yourself
too.
first.
No, I won't be the one to check myself. Why do I want to check?
You need to
start with
find out
yourself
now,
first.
self-evaluation and
What
understand.
if I evaluate myself and I see that
But
But
evaluate
good,
yourself.
eh,
But
there is
would you
nothing
like to know that is it that I've done something to this
At
person?
least that
and
should be
this
the
person is
starting point.
Because that should be the starting point. Not you saying the person should check
If I
themselves.
had done something to the person and you call myself my friend, then you should tell me.
What if the person have tried telling you before and
No.
you've shrugged it off?
No,
It happens. So self-evaluation should be the first thing. Not you saying the person should evaluate themselves.
If you had tried telling me first and I shoved it, then you should try again.
Really?
Yes, that's why we
did
are
the person
friends.
come to this life to just be telling you when you?
No,
They have other things to do now.
No, that's not it. There are levels of, well, I understand there are levels.
Okay,
of
well, I think
don't expect that because we are friends.
It's the level she has taken the relationship to. Anyway, now let's talk about people that demarket the country when they eventually travel out, or even those that do. There are people that do go out, come in. There are people that travel out, and as soon as they travel out, they say all sort of things about the country, like someone saying, "Okay, the economic is in shambles." To be precise, Davido. People have been criticizing him, and there are still people that are in support of the statement. What do you guys think?
Frustration pushes. The government cannot frustrate the citizens so bad and tell the citizens how to cry. Right? That's what I'm going to say.
You don't see that as the marketing.
I don't see it as the marketing now. I think we are looking at it from the angle we shouldn't look at it from. Everybody is suffering. And I will tell you, even when you think the big men are not suffering, the big men now are, once the economy becomes so bad, they are also a threat. Because by the time we don't see what we eat, the one that they have is also not safe. So why will you beat a child and you are telling the child not to cry? That's how I see it.
There's a saying that you don't cry to someone that will not beg you.
You don't cry to someone that will not beg you. He was asked a question. And honestly, sometimes we want to be very diplomatic. There are times where you have to push caution aside.
The reason is there are people that their words carry weight. Now, if it's an ordinary person on the street, no issues.
See, the truth is we make all these people. We choose, they are also human beings, right? And I'm going to say, whether supporters of the nation or non-supporters or supporters of the government or non-supporters, the main issue is how much are you buying rice? How much are you able to, is your life better off than many years ago?
Okay, now if the country is bad, truly, the economy is in shambles now, and we need to revive the economy, will all of this still help? We're looking for ways to revive the economy. Like I always say, it's a two-way thing, both from the government and the citizens. Now, if we keep identifying the bad things, are you not driving away people that you feel might want to invest? Driving away investors.
Good things. If you go to a pond, where there are fishes, you've heard that a golden fish has no hiding place.
Yes.
Yeah? Good things. You don't need to sing the praise of something that is good before people will know it too much. So it is when people are doing bad things, that's when they will start calling family meeting. When you go outside, this is how you will talk. This is how you will not talk. If you've trained your children well, you are very confident that. That's why the Bible says, train up a child the way he should go. And when he grows, he won't depart from it. Because truly, that carries a lot of statements. Sometimes I've seen that we misquote that statement to be, maybe pastor's children are like this. But in the real sense, when you are faced with issues of life, right, you will remember certain things that you were told from home. So when things are good, if you've trained your child well, you won't be, your problem will not be about whether they are demarketing you, because you are so sure that they will stand for the truth. And so why is it somebody goes out and says something instead of, so are you saying Davido going out to say the country is very, very good? That is foreign direct investment will start coming into the country.
Don't get it wrong.
No,
it's
foreign direct investment. Sorry, sir. Let me just land. Foreign direct investment will start coming into this country when there are other indices. Security, political instability is not what we have now. Those are the things that people are going to look for. Not for us. For all I care, we can hire people and the government will pay them, and they will go and stand and go to different fora.
I think it's an issue of communication here. You can make a statement in 5-6 different ways. If you want to make a statement look negative, you make it look negative.
Davido is not a PR specialist for the government. I know.
What I'm saying is, the truth of the matter is, the country is going through a phase, whether we like it or not.
No. It is putting it lightly to say the country is going through a phase. It is so let's say it is not going through a phase. It is in shambles, and we are headed for something that
we are not headed for anything.
you can say it as
The country is
you can
going
say
through
it
a phase.
as a phase.
See,
For how many
the
years?
truth is-
For how many
the
years?
truth is
No,
the-
your truth is not the truth.
The truth
Your
is
truth is
the richest countries we have now, and we kind of see and we want to emulate, or we compare Nigerians with. How old are those countries?
so let me tell you,
And
when we talk of country as country,
and
how old
where
are those?
were they?
Did this
When
people
they were
existed
this
in this
old,
land?
when they
They-
were
but
this,
they were
when
once
were
like
this,
this.
yes,
They-
when
they were
were
once
this
like
old,
this.
When America was 60 years old,
Okay.
what was their indices?
Hold on,
Check.
hold on. You are saying America?
No,
hold
now-
on. I will give you an example.
What was
Why are
their
you using
indices?
America?
No,
Don't use America.
America, UK, they are, all those countries are one of.
Hold
countries
on
you guys
now.
look
You are
at
going
and,
far. What
oh,
of Malaysia?
you
Why
want
didn't
to
you use
use
Malaysia?
them.
When did they get independence? Wait, no, you are talking about leave America aside. Talk of the people that are your mates.
Not just Malaysia.
Don't just. I mean, I've called Malaysia. Those are people that are your mates. The first Malaysia are known for export of palm oils, right? The first palm seeds. Where did they get it from?
All we
Now,
know-
those are your mates as country.
Yes.
So what are you saying?
The truth is,
We shouldn't live in
even-
self-denial. That's the
even
problem we
two
have in this
brothers or
country.
two
The thing
sisters
is-
Oh, okay,
cannot-
that's
don't
the
have
that's
same
the style you
path.
want to use now.
They don't
thing
have the
is-
same
the
road
thing
path.
is-
Oh, okay,
They
so our
can't-
part is to
not
be
every
suffering.
country will move
Okay,
at the
so
same
our
pace.
part as a country is to
Okay,
live
we
in
are going through
perpetual
a
this thing.
phase, and if we all sound negative,
It is
and
not a
complaining
phase. It is
about
not a
it,
phase.
the
Why?
truth
Why?
is
Are you
why
saying-
complaining?
The truth is,
Are
your
you saying it's a
complaining will
permanent
not get
reality?
us out of- will not change the economic industry.
So what are the things that
Okay,
has to
telling
change
us
us?
this is how we
So
already
okay, so
know the
your
reality.
declaration
It
of
won't
faith,
change the
your
economic
declaration of saying
indices.
we are not we are
I'm
this
not
is
saying
going to
we are
remove
not.
us from it.
I'm not saying
Let's
that
say
is
these
not-
things
I'm
the
not
way
saying-
they are.
But there's
Okay,
a
saying
way.
that
we-
is
no,
how
we're not
Let's
saying
say
that.
these things
No.
the way they
What
are.
is
We
it
shouldn't
going
put
to
it lightly.
change? What
It's
is it
going to
going to
change a
change?
lot of things
Saying
because
that is
people
how
will
it
know
is, what's it
the
going to
truth. Let's
change?
tell her. First of all, self-awareness is telling yourself the truth. You can't keep lying to yourself.
Telling yourself the truth.
Telling yourself the
Telling
truth.
yourself the
Yes,
truth.
and the truth should be
Telling
known.
yourself the truth.
Because the children are going
Now, let
to
me now tell you one thing.
come
Let me
up
tell you one
tomorrow and
thing.
They will come and hear that.
Now, let me tell you
the
one
country is
thing.
bad.
It's
Let's
just
not lie
like
to
running
ourselves.
a
It is
company.
bad.
It's just like running a
It is
company.
bad.
Now, maybe the company is in the financial quagmire now, and you're trying to see how you can revive the company. I don't think you will go out
You go
there,
to investors
bad-mouthing
and
the
tell
company,
them that-
telling investors,
And that is where
bad-mouthing
see
them.
this is
But
not
what we
a
are saying
case
is
of
this.
making if you want to make an analogy make an analogy that actually suits your situation. This is not a case of a company. We are talking of
Nigeria is
how
like a
countries
company.
are run. No, states are not run like companies. Sorry to say,
And
I
that's
beg
why we
to
find
differ.
ourselves like
States
this.
are not run like companies, and that's where the analogy does not sit well. I asked you, you said you started calling the US, and I gave you a situation of Malaysia, and you stopped short of going on with that comparison, and you now went ahead to now say something like you started using proverbs. See, we are lying to ourselves. Right, and until we address this thing, it starts from saying the truth.
There's a difference
It
between
starts from
talking
telling
to
yourself.
yourself and talking to outsiders.
Who are outsiders?
Now, if you have,
you are calling.
where
us-
was the statement made?
The statement was made in America. You are saying outsiders. Don't we have a stake? Do you know the population of Nigerians in the US?
I'm not contesting that.
Do you know the population of Nigeria? Now, when you say outsiders, quote unquote,
Sorry.
the person asking him this question was African Americans, and he asked in the context of African Americans wanting to come back home, right?
How much do you know about Equatorial Guinea until lately?
I didn't.
For
need
every
to know them.
individual, until lately, before they came into the picture.
I didn't
The
need
thing
to
is
know
this: Nigeria has issues. Several other countries have issues. Countries will always have issues, but it's only when you keep mentioning it, you are reiterating it every time it comes into the consciousness of that person. There could be some people out there who might be thinking that, oh, Nigeria is still a golden land that we can invest in. But when you continue to paint the picture of maybe crime, economic problems, you're painting all negative pictures every day. That means you're trying to drive the people away. Even the people over there, whether you like it or not, as bad as Nigeria is, it's still a land of opportunities. So when we have negative situations, we have positive situations, you hammer more on the positive situations. Even the US that we're talking about, they have their own negative situations. You see, it's a 7-year-old child who will tell you, oh, he is psychologically devastated, and he brings out a gun and starts shooting. They have their own issues. Is it about the UK that you want to talk about? UK and the knife? They have their own issues. Everyone has got theirs. But the thing is this, we as a country, we are always saying negative things about our country, all because we want to justify the reason that we want to japa. I'm not saying you should not japa, but at least try as much as possible, make the country a better place for those that are still behind. And for those who are still interested in investing into the country. Let them see reasons why they should invest in it.
The thing is, people.
So we are not saying
we are
Nigeria is
never going
immune
to
from
stop
all of this.
people. The thing is, when you now take somebody's statement and you want to ascribe to the person responsibilities that he doesn't owe us, and that is my issue.
Yes.
The people who are responsible to make the country better when it's election period, they will come and tell us how they have all the blueprints to make the country better. When they now go in there, they are the ones enjoying, allocating to themselves huge budgets to live well. Then when you complain of suffering, they are telling you how you should be
I understand
equal
that part.
partners in this in the. So you are living recklessly as a leader. Allow me to talk recklessly. Then let's scatter the whole country. You are doing that with your yes. That's what it means.
So scatter the whole country.
Let's scatter.
Two wrongs. You say two wrongs make a right.
There are two ways to achieve peace, and we keep running from it. There are two ways to achieve peace. It is either we sit down and we settle our issues, or we go to war.
Why don't you sit
When
down
we
and
go
settle
to
our
war,
issues?
one thing will happen. The wolves will either take over the ships, or if the ships can have sense, they will reign supreme. So I don't believe in this. Is the same thing we lie to ourselves. Even when we go down to how our parents train us. What is this? They will tell you, how did this come into be? They will give you one kind of story. We are used to padding everything. Let's stop padding everything. Don't call my name. Talk.
Wait. Nobody is saying don't say the situation the way it is. Yes, the economic indices are bad currently.
Yes.
The economy is in whatever.
Shambles.
Currently.
That's
we can all see me, I can't see. People can see negativity everywhere currently. But what do you end with? What hopes do you now live?
You should give people
if
hope.
you have a child today,
Who should give people hope?
Ode, in your own
It's
house.
my responsibility.
I will
to
give
my
people
child.
hope in my house, but you
Yes,
don't tell me
that's
that
what
when
I'm
I
saying.
speak on an international forum, I start lying to the people.
It's not about
on
lying.
GM, hold on.
The government should see.
Okay,
I will tell you the
okay,
benefit
let
of
me-
that
wait.
comes out from that.
After
The government
after
will sit up
speaking-
if they are serious.
No.
They will sit up.
After speaking
Yes.
like this,
They
and
will sit up.
No, if somebody finish listening to you, you are not speaking to the government. You are speaking to people.
So when Fela was singing all the
somebody
bad
finish
song, why are you
listening
people
to you?
hailing Fela now?
When somebody finish,
Was he lying? Was Fela lying when he was saying all the things he was saying? And these are the same things they criticize those man. Our parents made
are
us
not
feel
saying-
that is a very bad person.
We
but
are
till
not-
today,
we are
we
not
are not
saying
saying you
that's
shouldn't
not the
tell us.
reality.
You
Uh-huh.
shouldn't say what the real. Everybody
he has
knows
said
the
it. So
reality.
what's the cry about?
already know the
What is the
reality.
cry about?
It's the forum.
We already know
through
what
the
the
channel.
The forum.
Yes.
Okay, so when
We're
we
going to an international forum to say that you're demarketing
the international forum.
There's
that,
still there's a way an American would not.
why do we think there is nothing that is known about this country? Why do we think so? A country that they are seizing your airplane all over the world. You
An
think people
American
don't
will
know?
not say that.
You think they
that?
don't know?
They will. An American will not say that about their own country. They know what is happening in their country, but they won't say that. I am not saying you should lie. There's a difference. There are times that maybe, okay, you want to encourage people to come in. You want to encourage investors to come in. I mean, okay, let me put this question to you now. If you have a business partner or a prospective business partner you are targeting in US, would you tell that same person that this is what is happening in your country? You look for a way to still manage the situation. I'm not saying you should lie outrightly, no. But there's a way you manage the situation. I know this topic is a very contentious issue. It's not something that we can exhaust today, but I want to say thank you to you guys for your contribution. I know it's been hot here. You need something to cool off. And to the audience, I want to say very thank you to you for listening to us. We're not quarreling with each other here. We're only saying the realities, the way it is, the way we believe in ourselves. So thank you, and we hope to see you guys again. Bye-bye.
Ah.